svia non buona giovane lamenti se svia non buona giovane lamenti se svia.
Tell me now, what lady is the same to whom you swore a secret pilgrimage that you today promised to tell me of?
In Belmont is a lady richly left, and she is fair, and fairer than that word of wondrous virtues. Sometimes from her eyes I did receive fair speechless messages. Her name is Portia. Nothing undervalued to Cato's daughter, Brutus Portia. Nor is the wide world ignorant of her worth, for the four winds blow in from every coast renowned suitors, and her sunny locks hang on her temples like a golden fleece. Oh, my Antonio, had I but the means to hold a rival place with one of them, I have a mind presages me such thrift that I should questionless be fortunate.
Thou knowest all my fortunes are at sea. Neither have I money nor commodity to raise a present sum. Therefore go forth, try what my credit can in Venice do, that shall be racked even to the uttermost to furnish thee to Belmont, to fair Portia. Go presently inquire, and so will I, where money is, and I no question make to have it of my trust or for my sake.
Oh me, the word, choose. I may neither choose who I would, nor refuse who I dislike. So is the will of a living daughter curbed by the will of a dead father. Is it not hard, Nerissa, that I cannot choose one nor refuse none?
Your father was ever virtuous, and holy men at their death have good inspirations. Therefore, the lottery that he hath devised in these 3 chests of gold, silver, and lead, whereof who chooses his meaning, chooses you, will no doubt never be chosen by any rightly, but one who you shall rightly love.
I will do anything, Nerissa, ere I be married to a sponge.
You need not fear, madam, having any of these lords. They have acquainted me with their determinations, which is indeed to return to their home and to trouble you with no more suits.
I am glad this parcel of wooers is so reasonable, for there is not one among them but I dote upon his very absence. And I pray God grant them a fair departure.
Do you not remember, lady, in your father's time, a Venetian, a scholar, and a soldier that came hither in the company of the Marquis of Montferrat?
Yes, it was Bassanio. As I think, so was he called?
True, madam. He, of all the men that ever my foolish eyes looked upon, was the best deserving a fair lady.
I remember him well, and I remember him worthy of thy praise.
Madam.
How now, what news?
The 5 strangers seek for you, madam, to take their leave, and there is a forerunner come from a 6th, the Prince of Morocco.
Oh.
But the prince, his master, will be here tonight.
Come, Nerissa, Sirrah, go before. Whilst we shut the gate upon one wooer, another knocks at the door.
Lasciatemi morire.
Shylock, albeit I neither lend nor borrow by taking nor by giving of excess, yet to supply the right wants of my friend, I'll break a custom. Is he yet possessed how much he would?
Aye, 3,000 ducats.
And for 3 months.
Oh, I forgot. 3 months. You told me so. Well, your bond. And let me see, but here you, Methought you said you neither lend nor borrow upon advantage.
I do never use it.
Signor Antonio, what should I say to you? Should I not say, has a dog money? Is possible a cur can lend 3,000 ducats? Or should I bend low and in a bondman's key with bated breath and whispering humbleness say this? Fair sir, you spat on me on Wednesday last, you spurned me such a day, another time you called me dog. And for these courtesies, I'll lend you thus much monies.
I am as like to call thee so again, to spit on thee again, to spurn thee too. If thou lend this money, lend it not as to thy friend, for when did friendship take a breed for barren metal of his friend? But lend it rather to thine enemy, who, if he break, thou mayest with better face exact the penalty.
Why, look you how you storm. I would be friends with you and have your love. Forget the shames that you have stained me with. Supply your present wants and take no doit of usance for my monies. And you'll not hear me. This is kind I offer.
This were kindness.
This kindness will I show. Go with me to a notary, seal me there your single bond, and in a merry sport, if you repay me not on such a day and such a place, such sum or sums as are expressed in the condition, let the forfeit be nominated for an equal pound of your fair flesh, to be cut off and taken in what part of your body pleaseth me.
Content your faith, I'll seal to such a bond, and say there is much kindness in the Jew.
You shall not seal to such a bond for me. I'll rather dwell in my necessity.
Why, fear not, man. We'll not forfeit it. Within these 2 months, that's a month before this bond expires, I do expect return of thrice 3 times the value of this bond.
Tell me, where is fancy bred, or in the heart of weak, the head, how begot, how nourished, reply.
I am locked in one of them. If you do love me, you will find me out. Nerissa and the rest stand all aloof. Let music sound while he doth make his choice.
It is engendered in
So may the outward shows be least themselves. In a word, the seeming truth which cunning times put on to entrap the wisest. Therefore, thou gaudy gold, hard food for Midas, I will none of thee. Nor none of thee, thou pale and common drudge tween man and man, but thou meagre lead, which rather threatens than dost promise aught. Thy paleness moves me more than eloquence. And here choose I, joy be the consequence.
How all the other passions fleet to air, as doubtful thoughts and rash embrace despair, and shuddering fear and green-eyed jealousy. Oh, love, be moderate. Allay thy ecstasy. In measure reign thy joy, scant this excess. I feel too much, thy blessing make it less. For fear I surfeit.
What find I here? Fair Portia's counterfeit. What demigod hath come so near creation, yet look how far the substance of my praise doth wrong this shadow in underprizing it. So far this shadow doth limp behind the substance. Here's the scroll, the continent and summary of my fortune. You that choose not by the view, chance as fair and choose as true. Since this fortune falls to you, be content and seek no new. If you be well pleased with this, and hold your fortune for your bliss, turn you where your lady is, and claim her with a loving kiss. A gentle scroll.
And his infidel, and my old Venetian friend, Bassanio.
Senor Antonio commends him to you.
Ere I ope his letter, I pray you tell me how my good friend doth.
His letter there will tell you his estate.
There are some shrewd contents in yon same paper that steal the colour from Bassanio's cheek. Some dear friend is dead.
Sweet Portia, here are a few of the unpleasantest words that ever blotted paper. Gentle lady, I have engaged myself to a dear friend, engaged my friend to his mere enemy, to feed my means. Here is a letter, lady, the paper as the body of my friend, and every word in it a gaping wound issuing lifeblood. But is it true, Bassanio? Hath all his ventures failed? What, not one hit?
Not one, my lord. Besides, it should appear that if he had the present money to discharge the Jew, he would not take it.
When I was with him, I have heard him swear to Tubal and to Chus, his countrymen, that he would rather have Antonio's flesh than 20 times the value of the sum that he did owe him. And I know, my lord, if law, authority, and power deny not, it will go hard with poor Antonio.
Let me hear the letter of your friend.
Sweet Bassanio, my ships have all miscarried. My creditors grow cruel.
My estate is very low. My bond to the Jew is forfeit. And since in paying it, it is impossible I should live, all debts are cleared between you and I. If I might but see you at my death, notwithstanding, use your pleasure. If your love do not persuade you to come, let not my letter.
If your love do not persuade you to come, let not my letter.
Oh, love. Dispatch all business and be gone.
Since I have your good leave to go away, I will make haste. But till I come again, no bed shall e'er be guilty of my stay, nor rest be interposer twixt us twain.
Come on, Nerissa. I have work in hand that you yet know not of. We'll see our husbands before they think of us.
Shall they see us?
They shall, Nerissa, but in such a habit that they shall think we are accomplished. With that we lack. I'll hold thee any wager when we are both accoutred like young men. I'll prove the prettier fellow of the two.
Why should we turn to men?
Come on, I'll tell thee all my whole device when I'm in my coach, which stays for us at the park gate, and therefore haste away.
Is Antonio here?
Ready, so please your grace.
I am sorry for thee. Thou art come to answer a stony adversary, an inhuman wretch, incapable of pity, void and empty from any dram of mercy. Go on and call the Jew into the court.
He is ready at the door. He comes, my lord.
Dog.
Come! Yes, sir! Make room! Make room! Let him stand before our face.
For thy 3,000 ducats, here is 6.
If every ducat in 6,000 ducats were in 6 parts, and every part a ducat, I would not draw them. I would have my bond.
How shalt thou hope for mercy, rendering none?
What judgment shall I dread, doing no wrong? You have amongst you many a purchased slave, which, like your asses, your dogs and mules, you use in abject and in slavish parts, because you bought them. Shall I say to you, let them be free? You will answer, the slaves are ours. So do I answer you. The pound of flesh which I demand of him is dearly bought. 'Tis mine, and I will have it. If you deny me, fie upon your law. There is no force in the decrees of Venice. I stand here for judgment. Answer, shall I have it?
Of my power I may dismiss this court, unless Bellario, a learned doctor whom I have sent for to determine this, come here today.
My lord, here stays without a messenger with letters from the doctor, new come from Padua.
Bring us the letters! Call the messenger!
Good cheer, Antonio. What man courage yet? The Jew shall have my flesh, blood, bones, and all, ere thou shalt lose for me one drop of blood.
I am a tainted wether of the flock, meetest for death. The weakest kind of fruit drops earliest to the ground, and so let me. You cannot better be employed, Bassanio, than to live still and write mine epitaph.
Came you from Padua, from Bellario?
From both, my lord. Bellario greets your grace.
Why dost thou whet thy knife so earnestly?
To cut the forfeit from that bankrupt there.
Not on thy soul, but on thy soul, harsh Jew, thou makest thy knife keen. But no metal can, no, not the hangman's axe, bear half the keenness of thy sharp envy. Can no prayers pierce thee?
No, none that thou hast wit enough to make.
Oh, be thou damned, inexorable dog, and for thy life let justice be accused. Thou almost makes me waver in my faith, to hold opinion with Pythagoras that souls of animals infuse themselves into the trunks of men, for thy desires are wolfish, bloody, starved, and ravenous.
Till thou canst rail the seal from off my bond, thou but offence thy lungs to speak so loud. Repair thy wit, good youth, or it will fall to cureless ruin. I stand here for law.
This letter from Bellario doth commend a young and learned doctor to our court. And here I take it is the doctor come. Give me a hand. Came you from old Bellario?
I did, my lord.
You are welcome. Take your place. Are you acquainted with the difference that holds this present question in the court?
I am informed throughly of the cause. Which is the merchant here, and which the Jew?
Antonio and old Shylock both stand forth.
Is your name Shylock?
Shylock is my name.
Of a strange nature is the suit you follow. Yet in such rule that the Venetian law cannot impugn you as you do proceed. You stand within his danger, do you not?
Aye, so he says.
Do you confess the bond?
I do.
Then must the Jew be merciful.
Oh, upon what compulsion must I? Tell me that.
The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. We do pray for mercy, and that same prayer doth teach us all to render the deeds of mercy. I have spoke thus much to mitigate the justice of thy plea, which if thou follow this strict court of Venice must needs give sentence against the merchant there.
My deeds upon my head. I crave the law, the penalty and forfeit of my bond.
I pray you let me look upon the bond.
Here it is, most reverend doctor. Here it is.
Shylock, there's thrice thy money offered thee.
An oath. An oath. I have an oath in heaven. Shall I lay perjury upon my soul? No, not for Venice.
Why, this bond is forfeit. And lawfully by this the Jew may claim a pound of flesh to be by him cut off nearest the merchant's heart. Be merciful. Take thrice thy money. Bid me tear the bond.
When it is paid according to the tenor. It does appear you are a worthy judge. You know the law. Your exposition hath been most sound. I charge you by the law, whereof you are a well-deserving pillar, proceed to judgment.
By my soul, I swear, there is no power in the tongue of man to alter me. I stay here, on my bond.
Most heartily I do beseech the court to give the judgment.
Why then thus it is. You must prepare your bosom for his knife.
Oh, noble judge. Oh, excellent young man.
For the intent and purpose of the law hath full relation to the penalty which here appeareth due upon the bond.
'Tis very true. O wise and upright judge, how much more elder art thou than thy looks.
Therefore lay bare your bosom.
Aye, his breast, so says the bond, does it not, noble judge? Nearest his heart. Those are the very words.
It is so. Are there balance here to weigh the flesh?
I have them ready.
Have by some surgeon, Shylock, at your charge to stop his wounds lest he do bleed to death.
Is it so nominated in the bond?
It is not so expressed. But what of that? 'Twere good you do so much for charity.
I cannot find it. 'Tis not in the bond.
You, merchant, have you anything to say?
But little. I am armed and well prepared. Give me your hand, Bassanio. Fare you well. Grieve not that I am fallen to this for you. Commend me to your honourable wife. Tell her the process of Antonio's end. Say how I loved you. Speak me fair in death. And when the tale is told, bid her be judge whether Bassanio had not once a love. Repent but you, that you shall lose your friend, and he repents not that he pays your debt. For if the Jew do cut but deep enough, I'll pay it instantly with all my heart.
Antonio, I am married to a wife which is as dear to me as life itself. But life itself, my wife, and all the world are not with me esteemed above thy life. I would lose all. I sacrifice them all here to this devil to deliver you.
I have a wife who I protest I love. I would she were in heaven so she could entreat some power to change this.
We try for time. I pray thee, pursue sentence.
A pound of that same merchant's flesh is thine. The court awards it and the law doth give it.
Most rightful judge.
And you must cut this flesh from off his breast. The law allows it and the court awards it.
Most learned judge. A sentence. Come. Prepare.
Pater Noster, quies in celis, sanctificate nomen tuum, et veniet regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tua, sicut in cielo et in terra, panem nostrum quotidianum de nobis hodie, et dimitte nobis debite nostris, sicut dimimittis debitoribus nostris, et ne nos inducas in tentationem, sed libera nos e malo. Amen. 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 Amen.
Tarry a little. There is something else. This bond doth give thee here no jot of blood. The words expressly are a pound of flesh.
What?
Take then thy bond. Take thou thy pound of flesh, but in the cutting it, if thou dost shed one drop of Christian blood, thy lands and goods are by the laws of Venice confiscate unto the state of Venice.
Oh, upright judge, marked you, oh learned judge.
Is that the law?
Thyself shall see the act, for as thou urgest justice, be assured thou shalt have justice more than thou desirest.
Oh learned judge, marked you, a learned judge.
I take this offer then. Pay the bond price and let the Christian go.
Here is the money.
Soft! The Jew shall have all justice. No haste. The Jew shall have nothing but the penalty.
Oh Jew, an upright judge, a learned judge.
Therefore, prepare thee to cut off the flesh. Shed thou no blood, nor cut thou less nor more, but just a pound of flesh. If thou takest more or less than a just pound, be it but so much as make it light or heavy in the substance, or the division of the 20th part of one poor scruple. Nay, if the scale do turn but in the estimation of a hair, thou diest, and all thy goods are confiscate.
A second Daniel, a Daniel Jew.
Why doth the Jew pause? Take thy forfeiture.
Give me my principal and let me go.
I have it ready for thee. Here it is.
He hath refused it in the open court. He shall have merely justice and his bond.
A Daniel, still say I, a second Daniel. I thank thee, Jew, for teaching me that word.
Shall I not have barely my principal?
Thou shalt have nothing but the forfeiture, to be so taken at thy peril, Jew.
Why then the devil give me good of it? I'll stay no longer question.
Tarry, Jew. The law hath yet another hold on you. It is enacted in the laws of Venice, if it be proved against an alien that by direct or indirect attempts he seek the life of any citizen, the party against the which he doth contrive shall seize 1/2 his goods, the other half comes to the privy coffer of the state, and the offender's life lies at the mercy of the Duke only, against all other voice. In which predicament I say thou standst. Down, therefore, and beg mercy of the Duke.
Beg that thou mayst have leave to hang thyself.
That thou shalt see the difference of our spirit, I pardon thee thy life before thou ask it. For half thy wealth it is Antonio's, the other half comes to the general state, that humbleness may drive unto a fine.
I for the state, not for...
Nay, take my life and all. Pardon not that. You take my house, when you do take the prop that does sustain my house. You take my life, when you do take the means whereby I live.
What mercy can you render him, Antonio?
A halter, gratis, nothing else, for God's sake.
So please, my lord, the Duke and all the court, to quit the fine. For 1/2 of his goods I am content. So he let me have the other half in use to render it upon his death unto the gentleman that lately stole his daughter. 2 things provided more. That for this favour he presently become a Christian.
No! No, I beg you, no, please, no!
And more,
No, please.
that he do record a gift here in the court of all he dies possessed unto his son Lorenzo and his daughter.
He shall do this, or else I do recant the pardon that I late pronounced here.
Art thou contented, Jew? What dost thou say?
I am content.
Clerk, draw a deed of gift.
I pray thee, give me leave to go from hence. I am not well. Send the deed after me, and I will sign it.
Get thee gone, but do it.
In christening shalt thou have 2 godfathers. Had I been judge, thou wouldst have had 10 more, to bring thee to the gallows, not to the font.
Oh,